Imagine this. You're taking a nap in the forest when suddenly, a gigantic wild boar appears. Its eyes blood-red, its tusks sharp enough to rip your belly open with a single strike. You leap up and run for your life, but it doesn't give up. It charges after you, every step shaking the ground beneath your feet. You climb a tree thinking you're safe. But no, the beast waits below, circling for hours, refusing to leave. Will you be dragged down to a gruesome death, or turn this predator into a feast for your entire tribe? This terrifying survival story actually happened 2 million years ago. One afternoon, a Homo habilis was resting as usual, eyes closed, body relaxed, allowing gentle breezes through the leaves to cool the sweltering heat of the ancient forest. But this time, the afternoon was not as peaceful as his usual naps. A danger was silently approaching, poised to shatter the stillness. From a distance, a gigantic wild boar suddenly appeared. Its eyes were sharp and cold, gleaming with fury. Two pointed tusks curved upwards. The Homo habilis startled awake, just in time to notice the boar's fierce gaze fixed directly on him. Without hesitation, the Homo habilis sprang up, turned, and fled as the wild boar charged like a whirlwind. The chase began. The Homo habilis ran at full speed, all senses highly focused on finding an escape route. Fortunately, the Homo habilis spotted a tall tree ahead. He used all his strength to climb the tree, going higher to escape the boar's reach. But the boar did not give up easily. It snarled, digging its feet into the ground around the tree trunk. It didn't leave but stood stubbornly at the base of the tree, moving back and forth as if waiting for the Homo habilis to come down. As time passed, the sunlight faded, and darkness began to engulf the forest. The wild boar continued to snort periodically, kicking up dirt and grass as if to threaten. But finally, late into the night, when its patience ran out, the boar quietly walked away. The Homo habilis sat on the tree, listening to every tiny sound to ensure the danger had passed. When no more sounds were heard, the Homo habilis cautiously jumped down from the tree, his feet touching the ground lightly, eyes constantly scanning the surroundings. The Homo habilis started running quickly, trying to leave the dangerous area. But unexpectedly, the wild boar had not entirely left. It was hiding in the nearby darkness as if waiting for the next opportunity to attack. Upon seeing the Homo habilis, it charged again with all its might, and the chase resumed. Footsteps pounded close behind, breath coming in gasps. The Homo habilis knew he couldn't keep running forever. In desperation, the Homo habilis quickly plunged into a nearby bush, concealing himself among the thick leaves. The wild boar, thinking itself clever, stopped and rammed the bush, searching for the Homo habilis. But the boar didn't know that this was the real hunt that the Homo habilis had prepared beforehand. Traps had been set in this area, and the Homo habilis was luring the boar into them. As the wild boar advanced deeper, a loud snap echoed. It struggled helplessly, using its strength to try and escape, but ropes and sharpened stakes held it firmly down. Cheers from the Homo habilis rang out from afar as other members of the tribe heard the signal and quickly ran over. This was a great achievement for the Homo habilis. A gigantic prey would provide food for the entire tribe for many days. The group worked together to carry the wild boar back to their shelter cave, discussing excitedly as they went. Everyone's eyes gleamed with excitement and pride. Upon returning to the cave, a fire was lit, flickering in the darkness. The smell of roasted meat permeated the air, blending with the cheerful laughter of the whole tribe. Delicious pieces of meat were equally distributed, each person enjoying the fruits of their labor after a long, stressful day. For the Homo habilis, this was not just a satisfying meal but also a victory over harsh nature, a testament to the ingenuity, patience, and extraordinary survival skills of human ancestors. Just like any other day, today, the hunt and search for food for the Homo habilis began again. They walked slowly but cautiously, as always, ready for anything that might happen on their journey. While weaving through a vast grassland, the Homo habilis husband's eyes stopped at a sight in the distance. A deer was bowing its head, grazing peacefully amidst the wild nature. Both husband and wife stopped, hiding behind a large bush to observe. They intended to approach slowly, using patience to hunt this prey. But unexpectedly, as they were watching, a long, winding shadow silently slithered through the tall grass. It was a giant python also on its hunting journey. The python advanced slowly, each movement supple yet powerful, making no sound. When it got close enough, it suddenly lunged towards the deer. With astonishing speed, the python wrapped its large, powerful body tightly around the deer's body, constricting it turn by turn. The deer struggled, trying to break free, but the python's squeeze became tighter and tighter, gradually exhausting the deer. Witnessing this scene, the Homo habilis wife showed concern, turning to her husband. They knew that if they didn't intervene, the deer would not escape the python's deadly embrace. In that moment, they both decided to act. The husband quickly went to a nearby tree and picked up a large, sturdy branch. With the branch in hand, the Homo habilis husband rushed towards the python, beginning the rescue. The husband swung the branch powerfully, attacking the python's body. The decisive blows forced the python to loosen its grip and turn to face the intruder. The python hissed, opening its large mouth, its long tongue flicking menacingly. But the Homo habilis did not back down. The husband continued to strike the python's head and body with the branch. Meanwhile, the Homo habilis wife stood nearby, picking up small stones to throw at the python, creating additional pressure. After some resistance, the python finally realized it could not gain the upper hand. It slowly slithered backward, moving away from the deer and disappearing into the tall grass. The deer, now freed from the constriction, lay panting on the ground. The Homo habilis did not try to hunt the deer, knowing it was too exhausted to be useful prey. Instead, they stood for a while, watching the deer slowly recover and run off into the deep forest. The rescue ended, and the Homo habilis couple continued their journey to find food. Fortunately, their efforts were rewarded. As they passed through a sparse forest, they saw a large tree with lush leaves full of ripe fruits. The yellow and red fruits hung dangling from the branches, emitting a sweet aroma. Both the Homo habilis couple approached, looking up with excitement. They sat in the shade of the tree, sharing the sweet ripe fruits. Birds sang in the canopy, and the wind rustled through the leaves. All created a peaceful scene after hours of tension. The Homo habilis chewed slowly, savoring the sweetness of the fruit and the recovery of their bodies after a tiring morning. They knew that life in the wild was always full of challenges, but with courage, intelligence, and unity, they could overcome all dangers to survive. Having eaten their fill and rested sufficiently, the Homo habilis couple stood up and continued their journey. The sun was now high, illuminating the path ahead. With tools in hand and a vigilant spirit, they walked, ready to face whatever nature brought. For they knew that each day of survival was a challenge, but also a personal victory against the harshness of the wild world. Life 2 million years ago was a constant battle for survival. Thanks to their intelligence and patience, Homo habilis managed to turn deadly threats into great victories. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more incredible survival journeys, and share it so more people can explore this wild history together. And tell me, what would you do if a giant wild boar was chasing you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them.